Hi children, welcome back to English classroom.
Hope you are enjoying the virtual classrooms and doing all the activities given to you. Aren't you? Yes, I know you are doing it well. Do you remember what we discussed in the previous class? Yes, we were watching a superb fight. Who were the combatants? Yes, the mongoose and the cobra. Can you describe the combatants? That was a task given to you. How will you describe the cobra? Yes, skillful and experienced fighter. He could move swiftly and strike with the speed of light. The sacs behind his long, sharp fangs were full of deadly venom. He could mesmerize his enemies. Anything more? You can add.
How did you describe the mongoose?
3 feet long, superb fighter, clever and aggressive. He could move swiftly. The thickness of hair protected him from snake bite. He knew about the tricks of his enemy. Anything more? You can add. Yes. Who were the spectators? 2 spectators were there, 2 viewers were there. Who were they? Yes, the myna and the jungle crow. Were they just watching the fight or they took part? Yes, they also took part in the fight, but each time they bumped each other and returned to the cactus. In the 2 rounds, they could not hit the cobra. Okay, we have watched the first 2 rounds of the fight. Do you want to watch the first 2 rounds of the fight once again? Do you want to watch it live? Yes, you watch it. Then can you prepare a running commentary of the fight? Try it. First you watch the fight. Here it goes.
We are going to witness a frightful fight between the cobra and the mongoose. Look there, the cobra has arrived. He's an experienced fighter. Yes, the opponent is also coming. Yes, our mongoose has arrived. Look, the creature is very brave. He went straight to the cobra. Look at the cobra. Look at the sharp fangs. Sacs behind it are filled with venom. Look at the mongoose. Yes, he bushed his tail. Yes, the snake is getting ready to fight. He has raised 3 feet from the ground. What a hissing sound. Oh, the mongoose is also very aggressive. Yes, look at the spectators. They are ready to take part. Oh, they bumped each other and went back to the cactus. Oh, the snake is trying some tricks. He's playing some tricks, swaying side to side, trying to mesmerize the mongoose. The mongoose won't fall in that trick. Oh, what a lightning snap. Yes. Did it bite the mongoose? No. The mongoose is again fighting with... Oh, what a darting. Yes, he had beat the snake. He had beat the cobra. Look at that. You can see. Yes, blood glistens on the back of the cobra. The mongoose beat the cobra. Look there. You can see it. Blood glistens on the back of the cobra. Yes. Oh, again the snake is fighting with the mongoose. Yes, a darting sight. Yes, they are attacking each other with the speed of light. Again the spectators. Oh, no. Collided again. They rushed down the cactus again. Here they are fighting again. Yes, what a speed. Yes, the mongoose again bit the snake. Mongoose.
Yes, friends, you have watched the fight now. Was it a thrilling fight? Yes. The cobra is experienced and very tricky. Can you tell me a fighting technique of the cobra you have watched in the video? Yes? Yes, he spread the spectacled hood, swaying from side to side slowly to mesmerize the mongoose. Then he tried to make the mongoose mark a false move. He tried to deceive him. Can you cite the instance of the cleverness of the mongoose? He said he is very clever. Any instance can you cite? Yes. He avoided the eyes of the cobra, the glassy, unwinking eyes of the cobra. Then he fixed at a point just below the hood. Then what did he do? He made a feint, a false move to trick the cobra, to distract the attention of the cobra. That was his trick. He was very clever. Friends, the fight is not yet over. The dreadful fight is going on. What will happen in the third round? Who will win the battle? We are eager to know it. We are entering the last round of the fight. Watch and listen.
The third round followed the same course as the first, but with one dramatic difference. The crow and the myna, still determined to take part in the proceedings, dived at the cobra, but this time they missed each other as well as their mark. The myna flew on and reached its perch, but the crow tried to pull up in midair and turned back. In the second that it took him to do this, the cobra whipped his head back and struck with great force, his snout thudding against the crow's body. I saw the bird flung nearly 20 feet across the garden, where, after fluttering about for a while, it lay still. The myna remained on the cactus plant, very wisely refrained from interfering again. The cobra was weakening, and the mongoose, walking fearlessly up to it, raised himself on his short legs and with lightning snap had the big snake by the snout. The cobra writhed and lashed about in a frightening manner, and even coiled itself about the mongoose, but all to no avail. The little fellow hung grimly on until the snake had ceased to struggle. He then smelt along its quivering length, and gripping it round the hood, dragged it into the bushes. The myna dropped cautiously to the ground, hopped about, peered into the bushes from a safe distance, and then, with a shrill cry of congratulation, flew away. When I had also made a cautious descent from the tree and returned to the house, I told grandfather of the fight I had seen. He was pleased that the mongoose had won. He had encouraged it to live in the garden to keep away the snakes, and fed it regularly with the scraps from the kitchen. He had never tried taming it, because wild mongoose was more useful than a domesticated one. From the banyan tree, I often saw the mongoose patrolling the four corners of the garden, and once I saw him with an egg in his mouth and knew he had been in the poultry house, but he hadn't harmed the birds, and I knew grandmother would forgive him for stealing as long as he kept the snakes away from the house.
Children, you have listened very carefully, haven't you? Yes. What were the main incidents in the first paragraph we have read now? Yes, the beginning of the third round is described there. It is something same as the
first two rounds.
the snake strikes swiftly, the mongoose skips brilliantly. The same thing happened in the.
First two rounds.
What about the participation of the spectators? It is described here in the first paragraph. They also did the same.
What did they do?
They bumped upon the cobra. But could they hit? They could not. This time they didn't collide each other. Every time they made a comedy. But was this a comedy or a tragedy in the third round? Yes, it was a tragedy. What happened to the birds? This time again, the two birds dived at the cobra but missed the target. But they didn't collide each other this time. The myna managed to flew up, then it escaped. But the poor crow could not. What happened to the crow? The cobra whipped his head back and struck, his snout striking the crow. Poor creature. It flew only nearly 20 feet across the ground, fluttered for a while, and it lay still. It's over. The poor crow lost its life. Is it a comedy or a tragedy? Yes. The third round in the beginning, it became a tragedy. We lost one of our spectators. What about myna? He made a wise decision. What was the wise decision? Yes, myna wisely refrained from interfering again. It decided to stay still. So it rested on the cactus. You know, myna is very clever. The fight continued. The two combatants, cobra and mongoose. What was the condition of the cobra? Yes, he became weak. He was tired. What about mongoose? Yes, he was fearlessly walking towards his opponent. How did he attack the cobra now? Yes, the mongoose
Raised on his legs.
lightning snap caught the cobra by its snout. It was a fast movement. Within the flash of a light, it caught the cobra by its snout. How did the cobra defend? Yes, the cobra writhed, lashed, coiled itself around the mongoose. Did the mongoose leave him? No. He hung on its snout till the snake died. He didn't leave the cobra. How did he make sure that the cobra is dead? Only after making sure that the cobra is dead, he leave him. How did he make sure that the cobra is dead? Yes, by smelling along its lengthy body. By smelling along its lengthy body, he made sure that the cobra is dead. Then what did he do? Gripping it around the hood, dragged it to the bushes. Dragged it to the bushes. Our spectator was alone there. Was that myna? What did he do? The myna dropped cautiously to the ground, hopped about and peered into the bushes from a safe distance. From a safe distance, because he is very clever. How did the myna congratulate the mongoose? Yes, it made a shrill cry. A shrill cry. It is something like congratulating the winner. Now the fight is over. Myna flew away. Who is the winner? Yes, good. You are listening. The mongoose is the winner. Mongoose won the fight. The boy dropped down. He went to the house. Usually, what will he do? Yes, he will tell his grandfather about the fight. He told everything, all that happened there to his grandfather. The mongoose won the fight. Was grandfather happy? Yes, he was very happy. Which line says so? Can you find the line? Yes, he was pleased that the mongoose had won.
Grandfather knew
That mongoose was there in the garden. He encouraged it. How did he encourage the mongoose? Yes, grandfather fed him regularly with scraps from the kitchen, food scraps from the kitchen. Thus he encouraged the mongoose. Why? Why did he encourage the mongoose? To keep away the snakes. You know, this mongoose will keep away the snakes. But he didn't tame the mongoose. Why?
because
Wild mongoose are more useful to fight the snakes than the tamed ones. Wild mongoose are more useful than the tamed ones. The mongoose used to steal eggs from the poultry. Grandmother knows it, but she forgave him. Why? For the same reason. What is the reason?
mongoose keeps away the snakes.
Friends, the fight is over. Now it is time for you to read. How to read? Remember how to read? Yes. Guess the meaning of the new words. Pick them up. Update your My Own Dictionary. Use e-glossary or dictionary. Okay? Then read it again. Friends,
Can you describe the third round of the fight?
before it, just watch the third round of fight.
The third round followed the same course as the first, but with one dramatic difference. The crow and the miner, still determined to take part in the proceedings, dived at the cobra, but this time they missed each other as well as their mark. The miner flew on and reached its perch, but the crow tried to pull up in midair and turn back. In the second that it took him to do this, the cobra whipped his head back and struck with great force, his snout thudding against the crow's body. I saw the bird flung nearly 20 feet across the garden, where, after fluttering about for a while, it lay still. The miner remained on the cactus plant, very wisely refrained from interfering again. The cobra was weakening, and the mongoose, walking fearlessly up to it, raised himself on his short legs and with lightning snap had the big snake by the snout. The cobra writhed and lashed about in a frightening manner and even coiled itself about the mongoose, but all to no avail. The little fella hung grimly on until the snake had ceased to struggle. He then smelt along its curving length and, gripping it round the hood, dragged it into the bushes. The miner dropped cautiously to the ground, hopping about, peered into the bushes from a safe distance, and then, with a shrill cry of congratulation, flew away. When I had also made a cautious descent from the tree and returned to the house, I told grandfather of the fight I had seen. He was pleased that the mongoose had won. He had encouraged it to live in the garden, to keep away the snakes, and fed it regularly with scraps from the kitchen. He had never tried taming it, because wild mongoose was more useful than a domesticated one. From the banyan tree, I often saw the mongoose patrolling the four corners of the garden, and once I saw him with an egg in his mouth and knew he had been in the poultry house. But he hadn't harmed the birds, and I knew grandmother would forgive him for stealing as long as he kept the snakes away from the house.
Children, in the beginning of this lesson, you listen to a video. The commentary of the 2 rounds were given there. Here the 3rd round also is there, but without commentary. You can download the full video of the fight from Samagra. Then you prepare your own commentary for the 3rd round and add to this video. You can use Caden Live, you can use OpenShot video editor. So you download it from Samagra, add your commentary and send it to your school WhatsApp group. Okay?
While reading the passages,
You have seen that the boy narrated the incidents he had seen from the tree to his grandfather. How will it be? How will be his narration? Yes. Try it.
Grandfather, today I had a thrilling experience. I was up there in the tree. I saw a fight between the mongoose and the cobra. Both were superb fighters. They didn't see me as I was on the tree. Cobra was a skillful and experienced fighter. He could move swiftly and strike with the speed of light. He could mesmerize his opponents. Mongoose was a clever fighter. He was 3 feet long and aggressive. He knew the tricks of his enemy. Cobra struck twice with the speed of light. But the mongoose was clever enough to skip. He bit the snake twice, and I saw blood glistening on Cobra's back. A myna and a crow came as spectators. They also took part in the fight, but they bumped each other each time they flung on the cobra. That time the cobra struck the crow, and the poor crow lost its life. The myna took a wise decision not to interfere the fight anymore. In the 3rd round of the fight, the cobra struck again and missed. This time, the mongoose caught hold on the cobra's snout. The cobra writhed, lashed, and coiled around the mongoose. But the mongoose hung on cobra's snout until the snake had ceased to struggle. Then the mongoose dragged the dead cobra to the nearby bush. The myna gave him a shrill cry of congratulation. I will never forget this in my life.
Children, here this narration is the first person narration. Why? I is the subject. I had an experience. I was up there. I saw the fight. I. Now it is your turn. It is your turn to narrate the story to your friend. Whose story? The boy's story. How will you begin? Yes, it is given here. The boy was sitting on the tree. He saw a superb fight between mongoose and the cobra. We change it into 3rd person narrative. This activity 4 is given in page number 17 of your textbook. Do it. So we have seen the superb fight between mongoose and cobra. Here in page number 20, one more activity is given there. It's a simple activity. These are the words and phrases used to describe the fight of the warriors. It is given as a table. First table is of snake, second table for mongoose. Look, snake moved swiftly, struck with the speed of light. What about mongoose? Made a feint to one side, darted swiftly, and then you can pick more and more words and phrases from the passages. You go through it and complete the table. Now we are going to the final part of the story. Before that, finish your assignments, attempt the questions given alongside the passages, send your activities to the school group and wait. Okay? So, we will meet soon with the final part of the story. Till then, take care. Bye bye.